And what exactly is Alabama TASH? Take me through a little bit of the history there.
Okay. So TASH is an international leader in the disability world. And they were started in 1975. And it actually stands for, because a lot of people, the first question they usually ask me is, what is TASH? What does that mean?
Well, there's a lot of acronyms
in our world, I know. So unfortunately in the 70s and 80s and 90s, I guess acronyms were a big thing. But TASH does stand for the Association of Severely Handicapped. So again, those are acronyms that we don't really use in the 21st century. And TASH had thought about changing the name, and they said, you know what, it is so well known, it is so embedded in everybody's minds that we're just going to stick with TASH. So again, we like to use, we represent a community, an inclusive community of people with, all kinds of challenges and disabilities, and so we are kind of encumbersome of everything involved
So you
in the disability world.
Back in the day in '75, it was very specific, but now you encompass really the entire community and services and supports for whatever's needed there. And TASH, it does roll off the tongue. I mean, TASH.org.
Yeah. AlabamaTASH sounds really good too. So we love our name, and we do have a Facebook page. So when it's easy to remember, you just plug in AlabamaTASH and our Facebook page will come up.
It pops up. Now, TASH is you said an international organization. So it is represented in other countries.
Yes. I went to my first conference as a parent in 2016. It was in St. Louis, and it was phenomenal. I mean, as a parent of a son with very significant challenges, I needed to find resources. I needed to be around an environment where a lot of my hopes and dreams and plans for a full life for Kyle could be answered, and I could meet people all over the country. So yeah, at St. Louis, when I was in St. Louis, I mean, I met people from all over. They had presenters from all over. So it's a very, very organized organization. I mean, they have, they've got a board of directors. It's based in Washington, D.C. If you all wanted to go out and visit them, they'd be more than welcome you. They're policymakers, and it was strategic why they based it in D.C. because they are actually within the loop. I mean, they're only a few blocks from the Capitol. So they've got a really great staff of people that focus on policymaking. So yeah, it's a very serious.
They can walk down an hour trip and be there.
No, within 10 minutes and be on the Hill, So yeah, they do a lot of policy making, and they make a big difference with a lot of the legislatures.
Now, TASH has been around since 1975, but it is kind of new to Alabama. Could you kind of walk me through that?
So the timeline for that is basically when I came back from St. Louis, a group of us went. There was my good friend Susan Alice. She was the one that originally kind of told me about TASH, and she recommended that I go. So when we came back from St. Louis, we realized that there were 33 states that had TASH chapters. And of course, Alabama was not one of them. So, we have amazing advocacy groups in our state. We have a strong representation of our world of disabilities in all areas. So we knew Alabama needed a chapter. So a few of us got together about a year ago, a little more than a year ago. And so we formed our little group and started having our little calls, and then put our bylaws together and put our mission together and did what we needed to do and submitted it to DC. And then they voted on us this last conference in Atlanta, 2 years ago in Atlanta in 2017, and we were then officially made a chapter. So we were officially made a chapter in December of 2018.
In December of
2017. Sorry.
So I imagine that is getting an organization off the ground. You have some help from DC and headquarters, but that is quite a feat. To go from
especially for someone who's never done it before. So, I've been in the corporate world, but I'm not an organizer. I'm kind of, on the other end of it. It's been fun, and we really you know, we have our ebbs and flows, but we had our first TASH, Alabama TASH event, which was in University of Alabama. We hosted a screening of an amazing movie that was a partnership with TASH and USAID out in New Hampshire, and Dan Habib was the producer. Chris Cooper, he's a real well-known actor, was the narrator, and it's an incredible movie, very powerful movie called Intelligent Lies. So we invited a lot of folks to the campus of the University of Alabama. We had folks from, you know, the Department of Mental Health, folks from schools, and that was our first TASH event. So that was in November, just this past November.
Just this past November. Is there a good link where that movie, is it online?
Yes. So we are screening. It's TASH is trying to get as many people out there familiar with this movie because it speaks for itself. You just can show the movie and have a discussion. And it follows the lives of three individuals, three young adults, in their lives specifically for employment and a full life, a normal life in their community, because TASH is about community of practices. I mean, that's our platform, is, you know, every individual has the right to live and work in their community. And so this movie speaks for that. So yes, you can get TASH had a generous donor who bought the movie for us. ADAP purchased the movie for us. I think it was, I don't know, $40. It's not very much. And then as long as you are screening it without charging, and you're doing it, you know, in a world of, you know, you can't go screen it and show it to employees at the mall or something like that. They want it to be in an environment where people are going to benefit.
Could we stream it on here?
Yeah.
And just allow people to engage in the chat? Because that would be really cool for like a Sunday afternoon or something like that.
It's a 70-minute movie, so you know it. And it even has a whole another set of a tool package that helps you ask the right questions, and it has a thing for you to follow to engage people. Yeah. So we're doing it. We're screening. It's been being screened. I think Family Voices screened it for their people. I'm working on a screening at Samford University with the college students and the peers there. So yeah, it's all part of a membership with TASH. You can have access to it.